If you have something that is strap-like, that's acceptable. It can be, well, you can think of it. Long sleeve shirt, tied to a robe, a belt, whips and chains, anything that is something that you can grasp, especially something you can wrap around your foot. We are going to start in a child's pose, but we're going to begin opening it right through this area. So I have my blocks. I'm going to start with these. You may not need to start with your blocks. A child's pose with the elbows down and the arms bending, hands in prayer hands, thumbs coming back to between the shoulder blades may be enough for you to feel some sensation here. If not, if you need more, just place blocks under the elbows. Settle the hips, settle the feet. Then begin to settle the rest of the body. And then give yourself a moment to acknowledge the silliness, the chatter, the community that allows us to still have fun before practice together. What a gift. And then when you're able to, allow that to sort of fall away, to soften in your mind. And come into your own body. If you've got some wiggles, you can get the wiggles out. Swaying the hips from side to side, even wiggling through the toes or pressing the toes into the mat. Rocking through the forehead, side to side. Preparing yourself for a practice of some challenge. Sometimes we think of our pitta practices as really fast moving. Other times there's more effort of the mind or more effort of the body. This in some ways is going to be all of those things, but we're going to find energy of the spirit that helps us balance that out. So it can be really easy in times of pitta to become to have that pitta cup overflowing, spilling. Yesterday is an example of that. It was warmer, maybe we were busier. Today's cold, so today might be even more vata. There's a little bit of wind, it's drier, so just recognize the energy that you have, what you came to your practice with, and then welcome it. Knowing that every practice is unique, every practice is a gift. Circumstances surrounding it may feel like obstacles, but those are actual gifts as well. If you need to deepen your sensation here, you can lift the level of your props and bow the heart a little bit more, pressing the underarms down towards the floor, reaching the fingertips back, maybe even separating the knees, keeping the toes pressing towards each other. The theme of this class is using obstacles and fear, even overdoing things in our lives, as a platform or a base in which we can actually elevate ourselves to see from a higher perspective, to see more of the big picture, and then to dance to that, to dance to our own rhythm from that platform. And that may not be actual dancing, it may just be living your life and feeling confident in it. That's a dance. There's always give and take, there's rhythm. So that's what we're going to be working through. We're using a story of Shiva to do that. So now wherever you are, go ahead and come towards table. Begin moving through your cat-cows. Inviting in any sort of rhythm that works well for your body, any sort of breath pattern matching. If you'd like to inhale into the back body, inhaling into your cat, do that. Get bigger, breathe into the backs of the lungs. And then exhale, let the belly drop heavy. Shoulders begin to pull apart, tailbone lifts, and then lift the head like you're trying to touch the top of your head towards tailbone. reversing this. Pressing into the hands, pressing into the knees. Inhale, like a balloon lifting up towards the sky. Exhale, tailbone lifts, crown lifts. Maybe tuck the toes. And now, as always, there's options for additional movement to sway the hips from side to side, to move through the wrists. I'd like you to especially focus on the feet today. So tuck the toes and then push back through the hips. Maybe even lifting the knees, feeling a nice stretch in the back of the calves, the ankles, Achilles. Rock forward, tippy toes, and then tuck the toes. So you're sitting towards the heels, and then again lift the knees, stretch the front of the ankles. If this feels like too much, it probably is, so do less. Listen to the body. And then if it's comfortable for you, you can come up seated just like you are. Otherwise, you can place a block under the hips, between the feet, and sit up, or sit in Sukhasana, any way that's comfortable. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, hands to heart. Sinking with the breath. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach high. This time, side body over to the right. So we're going to side body bend of the left side stretching, right side bending. And you can open up through the chest. Maybe draw some circles through the arms. Try to think about pulling your left shoulder blade back and the front of your right collarbone back towards each other. Keeping the belly pulled in and firm. Left hip down. Back up through center. And then the other side. Again, option to move through the arm. And then begin opening the chest. Pull the right shoulder blade back, left collarbone back. They're trying to kiss behind you. Reaching up. And then cactus the arms, lift the heart. Keep this press. Lift the hips. Push the pelvis forward. Not too far forward. Just try and stack over the knees. But feel a lift of the heart. Reach up. Palms together. Gaze up. Belly in. Squeeze the glutes. Squeeze the abs. Lift up higher. Look up at the thumbs. And begin to just lean back gently through the chest. Not trying to arch through the upper spine or the lower back. Just finding some extension, some opening. Perhaps cactusing here. If you'd like to find your early Ustrasana, that's an option. Reaching back for blocks or for heels. Opening through the heart. Again, the collarbones are open. Imagine there's a wall in front of you. You're not trying to shove your pubic bone into it way in front of the knees. We're trying to keep a nice stacking here. So the energy is more up and back more than forward. Engage the glutes. Pull the belly button in, abdominals towards the front of the spine. Again, option to lift the chin gently or to tuck. And try and stretch out the back of the neck. Jalandhara Bandha here. Reaching up, feeling strength, pulling the belly in, sitting the hips back down. Hands to mat, table pose. Again, rocking, shifting. Now, I don't know about you guys, but whenever I'm in class and spinal balance is called, I internally go, ugh. And I know it's because I need it. It has nothing to do with a teacher calling it or being a pose that's not necessary. It's very helpful. But I just don't enjoy it. I think it's because I need it a lot. Unfortunately, today, you guys, we need it. It's part of the thing. So we're gonna do it. So keep both hands planted, and first start by sending the right foot back. Now you can't really see my foot. There it is. Hello. So reach back, point the toe, and really stretch. Engage the right glute and firm through the right quadricep. And then point the toe so much you feel a stretch in the top of the left foot. Belly in, push through the hands. Now flex the foot, bend the knee. There's my foot. And then we're gonna lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, in and up. 9, 10. Stay here. Extend the leg long. Now let's reach the left arm forward. Okay, keep pulling the belly in. Inhale, we're gonna lift the thumb up towards the sky. Lift the heel up towards the sky, making this arch with our bodies. Option to look up. Inhale. Exhale, rounding, elbow to knee. Push the floor away, pull the abdominals in. You're trying to get that thigh towards the ribs. Inhale, extend. Exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, neutralize. Nice straight line here. Bend the knee, reach back. Tiger King pose. Tiger pose. Quarantine has made me crazy, guys. Now, while you're holding here, I'd like you to push the foot to the hand, push the hand into the foot. Find a little more height, a little more back bend. Feel the left quad stabilize you, then really grip it through the right hand. Feel lift, keep pulling the right collarbone back. Neutralize, set it down. Good, whatever you need now, whether that's big hip circles, side to side, maybe a child's pose to roll through the wrists, to flick water from the fingers. Ever feels good. I remember the first time a few years ago when I heard that, the flick water from the fingers. And it just seemed like such a simple idea, but for me it was like this practice changing gesture, because it really does invite in this energy from the fingertips all the way through the limbs to the center of the body. So welcome in that fresh energy. We're going to go towards the other side now. So when you're ready, tabletop, I'm trying to get in frame here, and we're going to lift that left leg. Pointing, 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 pull the belly, push through the arms, lift, lift, lift. And now we bend, and we lift 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pull the belly in, don't let it sag down. You're still pulling abdominal wall towards the front of the spine. 3, 2, 1. Straighten and reach. Again, reach the fingers as far away as you can from the foot, like you're trying to reach in opposite directions for your favorite treat. Pull the belly in, firming. Now lift the thumb, lift the heel or the toe, whichever you have flexed or pointed. Finding a back bend. Elbow to knee. Round, cat-like spine. Pull. Use compression here, pulling the thigh towards the chest. Inhale, reach. Exhale, round. Inhale, reach. Exhale, round. Let's do one more bonus on this side. Inhale, reach. Exhale. Neutralize. And notice if you become unneutral. So again, pull the belly in, let the hips be level. We're going to bend through that leg, reach back through the hand. Looking for the foot, pushing down through the right shin, the right knee, through the foot, gripping through the fingertips, the heel of the hand, knuckle pads of the left, and push the foot into the hand, hand into the foot. Feel the back bend. Pull the left collarbone back. Using the posterior chain, the back muscles to support you. Pull the belly in. Inhale. Exhale. Release spinal balance. Set it down. And then work it out. Whatever you need. Maybe coming up. Doing some half sun salutations. Literally half with half the body on the ground. So inhaling to lift up. Exhaling to fold down, child's pose. Inhaling to a tabletop. Exhaling, child's pose. Inhaling, rising all the way up. Open the chest. Do that again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, rock forward table. Maybe a little back bend here. Exhale, roll the spine back in child's pose. Inhale, flat back. Lift up. Squeeze the buns. Hands to heart. Again, little back bend Ustrasana. You can tuck the toes or keep them the way they are. Now, our thoracic spine isn't meant to back bend. The spinous processes, they overlap kind of like this. And around the T6 right here, it's almost touching. The back bending comes from our lumbar. So what we want to do from our thoracic, our upper spine, is we want to reach up. We want to grow tall. So grow tall with me, like you're reaching for the sky. And then place the palms together and bend at the elbows, just like we started out. Pull the belly in. Squeeze the elbows towards each other, squeezing biceps to ears, and then lift up through the chest, up through the elbows. Squeeze the buns. Keep the lift of the heart like there's a limbo stick behind you, and begin to tip the head back, supported by the arms. You're going to notice here where your limit is. Feel your edge, respect it. Perhaps you can go all the way back. Perhaps you can use the muscles. You're squeezing your bund, you're using your back muscles. Perhaps you reach. Perhaps you find Kapotasana. Or you'd like to find, again, Ustrasana. Yogi's choice. Perhaps you even interlace the fingers behind the back. Bring the feet towards each other and try and bring knuckles to heels. Opening the chest. Closing the back. Recognizing this shift, this dance. Coming back up, inhale, neutralize, exhale, sit. And slowly bow down, child's pose. Again, rolling through whatever you need to roll through in the body. Ankles, the hands, the feet. If this is a good time for you to invert, if that's in your practice and you're already fired up, if you need a wall, you guys go ahead and go towards the wall. Just crank up the volume so you can hear me, okay? We're going to take, I'm going to say 10 breaths. It's really going to be about 2 minutes, so depends how fast you breathe. So if you'd like to find your Shirshasana, I would recommend supported versus tripod. That way you get a little more support. Now, the top of the head, come down to the ground, press through the elbows, walk the toes in, and perhaps you can begin to lift through the legs. Maybe you kick up to a wall, but you're pressing down firmly into the ground through the arms. No weight in the head. You're striving to slide a piece of paper under your head. No weight there. Protect the cervical spine. If inverting isn't for you, you're in your child's pose. You're just rolling out the wrists, swaying the hips, rocking the head side to side. Maybe moving through some cat-cows. So, I'd like to tell you a little bit more about Shiva. There's a few different ways that he is represented. A couple different ways that he is depicted. And one way that you'll see him is an image of him standing on one foot, and what he's standing on is this this little dwarf demon who looks almost like a victim, like he's being tortured by Shiva. And Shiva is holding a drum, he's holding fire, there's a ring of fire all around him, and there's a cobra wrapped around his neck. It's a very interesting image, and it can seem violent, but if we can look at it through a yogic lens, it's all about compassion. You just have to understand the elements. So what that little dwarf demon represents is all of the stuff in our lives, the ruts that we fall into, the negative patterns, the negative thought processes. And what Shiva does is he uses that, he stands on it, showing that he has control by using knowledge, by using yoga, by using meditation, asana. He finds control over that. And it gives him a higher platform. He can see more from up there. The snake around his neck is poisonous, and he is immune to it. He's not afraid, because the snake represents our fear. Our fear of, well, Patanjali said there were 5 main fears, but the biggest fear we have is our mortality, our death. And Shiva's not afraid of that, because he knows that just like the law of the conservation of mass, for one thing to be created, another has to be eliminated. There has to be this give and take. And so Shiva recognizes that for death, there has to be life. Death is the only constant. So he's not afraid of the snake. In fact, the snake could bite him, it wouldn't hurt him, because while Shiva represents this destruction so that there can be newness made, he also recognizes that that's a good thing, and that we should live every day with this openness and awareness. So if you're in your tabletop, I'd like you to now move towards your downward facing dog, okay? If you've been inverted for the last couple of minutes, come down, down dog, pedal it out. So let's pedal out our down dogs. If you need to check your spacing, find your plank first, and then just lift the hips all the way up and back. Generous bend in the knees, press up through the sit bones, press the top of your mat away, lift the heels, and then start pressing one heel down at a time. Keep breathing. So like I said, that demon represents our daily dramas. The snake is our danger, recognizing ourselves as something other than divine, something that can be eliminated, something that can die. And that ring of fire is our samsara. It's the flame. And it's what we constantly fall into. It's how we forget every day the thing that we learned the day before. Do you ever feel like in yoga you have these great realizations sometimes in your shavasana, and you think, this is it, I'm there, I finally learned. And then the next day you have something that sets you off, and you kind of forget those principles. That's what that is. So it's learning to dance with all of these things happening, all of these dangers, all of these negative things, and still finding a dance, still finding control. Now look forward, press into the mat, and begin tiptoeing your feet all the way forward. Uttanasana, take a forward fold. You can bend through the knees, lift up through the sit bone, heavy through the heart, heavy through the crown. Find some movement. Good. And the flame in his hand represents the flame of destruction. The destruction that all creativity, all creation comes from. And how ultimately our freedom comes from knowing that nothing holds us permanently. Kind of like that aparigraha, we can let go. So like I said, that picture looks menacing if you ever look it up. But each individual piece of it represents something really beautiful, something you can really learn towards, and that pushes us towards our ananda, our bliss. So during this practice, we're going to back bend. We're going to open up our heart space. Inhale, half lift, palms to shins, lift the chest away from the thighs. Get back in frame here. Lift the belly, spread the collarbones. Exhale, fold. We're also going to open up the psoas, get into our motions, that deepest muscle of the body. And I don't know if you've caught on, but Shiva, one of the ways that he's a trinity. One of his main representations is Nataraja, that king dancer. So we're going to find our king dancer pose today. That's why you need straps. But I think it's time to get moving, like really moving. Let's crank up the heat. So what time is it? Let's see. We've got to pick up the pace. So inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Plant the hands, step the feet back, plank pose. Drop the knees down, chest down, chin down. Now, like that snake around his neck, I'd like you to slither forward onto the belly. Lift the hands. Even think cobra pose. You can lift the arms, cactus the arms, squeeze the buttons. Hands down, face down, press up through table, tuck the toes, down dog. Doing this again a little faster. Looking forward. You can tiptoe, step, hop, or float, whichever works for you. Once you get there, inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, reaching high. Option to lift the right leg. Find balance. Set the right foot down, lift the left leg. Find that quick balance. I'm not going to tell you to imagine you're standing on a dwarf demon, but if you'd like to, it's your cosmic surfboard. We'll call it that. Left foot down. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, fold. Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, flat back, chest lifted. Plant the hands, step back, plank pose. Knees down, chest down, chin down. Slither forward, lift the hands, press down into the feet. Good. This time we're going to press up through table or plank, yogi's choice, and then lift the hips. From here, inhale the right leg up, bend the knee, open the hip. Extend the leg long, wrap the right hip back under, step the right foot forward. Inhale, lift the heart, step the left foot forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, rise up, lifting the right leg, finding balance, placing it down, lifting the left leg, finding balance, placing it down. Inhale to reach, grow taller, expand, fold. Building heat. Inhale, half lift. Planting the hands, stepping, feet back, plank pose. Again, knees, chest, chin. Slither like a snake. Lift the hands. Plant the hands down, tuck the chin, press up through table or plank. Lift the hips. Left leg lifts. Bend the knee, open the hip. You're trying to push that left knee as far away from that right hand as possible, squeezing it at the glute. Straighten through the leg, wrap the foot under, step the foot all the way forward. Right knee can come down, can lift through the chest, and then step all the way forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, sink the hips, chair pose. Now, in the picture of Shiva, of Nataraja, you'll see most times that his supporting leg is bent. So now let's lift that right foot with that bent left knee. Can you lift the right knee so that you feel compression? You're really working that right thigh. Let me hop back in frame. You're really working that right thigh towards the belly, using hip flexors and abdominals, and then you're sinking into that left knee. Now cross the right knee over the midline. Now cross it behind. You're going to feel the back of the right knee to the front of the right knee to the back of the left knee. And I want you to Shiva squat here. So for this, you can bring hands to heart or you can keep reaching. Another option is to bring hands down. We're going to trace the knee down to the ankle. And then push down through the left foot, come all the way back up. Left knee up, switch sides. Sit down, Utkatasana, chair pose. Nice bend in the right knee, lifting up high through the left. Crossing over the midline, adducting, opening up, crossing behind. A little unsteady on this stone pavement here. Shiva squat. Keep the chest lifted, tracing the knee down the back of the right. If you need hands down, you can. Power back up. Set it down. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Plant the hands, step the feet back. This time, we're going to drop the knees down, and on the exhale, we're going to do chest down, chin down. Right leg extends up like this. Now slither forward, but keep that leg lifted like a half locust, like a quarter locust. Tuck the back toe. We're going to try and power up, either through table or through plank, keeping that right foot lifted, going to a downward facing dog eventually. So get ready. Pull the belly away from the floor. Hug the elbows in. Press up. Good. Step it forward. Left knee comes down. Chest forward. Anjaneyasana. Reach up. Take a back bend here. Chest opens. Maybe the fingers interlace. Bending as much as you like. Letting it feel good. Perhaps even beginning to bend through that back leg. If you'd like, you can let the left hand come to a block or to the ground, and then reach back with the left or the right. You can use both arms. You can find the back bend here. Your choice, as long as you're taking the quad stretch. Softly releasing the foot. Planting the hands, looking forward, lifting the heart, stepping forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, sit in your chair pose. Feel the strength of the legs. Pull the belly in. Sit a little lower. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And fold. Inhale, half lift. Plant the hands, step back. Plank pose. This time on the inhale, knees down. On the exhale, chest and chin come down. Left leg lifts up. Perhaps you even bend the knee. Drag through the heel. Extend the leg. Slither forward. Use the arms. Lift the chest. We're still lifting through that left leg. Option to reach back with the hands, or again, cobra the arms. Think that big cobra hood that comes up. Powering up again. Tucking the back toe. Firming the kneecap, firming the quads so the kneecap lifts. Firming the belly. Pulling the abdominal wall towards the front of the spine, hugging the elbows in. We're going to power through the arms, coming all the way up. Three-leg dog. Step it all the way forward. Right knee down. Anjaneyasana. Let there be a smile on your face. An openness in your heart. We talked about Hanuman, how he opened his heart to show that Ram and Sita, that love was inside of him the whole time. All of these stories that we tell, these myths, they all come together to weave in these yogic principles. Can you allow that to happen for you? To remember the little bits and pieces. And find your back bend, whatever that looks like for you. Maybe it's that same reach here, just like we did that Ustrasana. Maybe it's the fingers clasped, the heart open, or the cactus arms. When you're ready, bending through the right leg, taking that quadricep stretch. Noticing the heat in the body. If you need to cool down, Satali breath, breathing in and out through the mouth like there's a straw. So if you can roll your tongue, roll the tongue, breathe in and out through that. If not, just pretend like there's a straw between the lips and breathe it in and out through that. Invite in cooling and calming. Beginning to release that quadricep stretch Planting the hands, looking forward, lifting the chest, even pushing the pelvis forward, stretching through the psoas just a bit. Stepping forward, inhale, half lift. Reach the arms back. Lift up through the arms, lift up through the heart. Sink the hips. Push down through the left foot. Try to keep everything still, but we're hovering the right foot. Strengthen the leg. And down. Other side. And down. Fold. Whew. You guys are doing great. Inhale all the way up. Might feel really good to either take a side body bend, to take a twist, or to take another fold. You do you, boo-boos. Whatever feels good. Notice if the hips need to move, like hula hoop circles. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, fold forward. This time, your vinyasa. So if you would like to plant the hands, float back, handstand hop back, or just step back into chaturanga, or any other version of your vinyasa, this is your time. Try to hold your chaturanga. Try to go slow. Build up heat. Agni in the belly. Fire. Stoke the flames with the breath. Meeting in down dog. Inhale the right leg up. Bend the leg. Lift the head, rock forward, shoulders over wrists, and then we're using that same push as we did into the hand, but we're push, 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 lift, lift, lift the crown. Good, knee to nose surround. Step it all the way forward. Plant the back foot. Warrior one. If warrior one feels icky for you, you can do high crescent lunge, okay? We're going to stretch through the front of the left hip. So we're going to stretch the left psoas. So right hand to right hip, left hand up. Flip the palm to the back of the space. Dip the pelvis forward. Increase the bend in the right knee. And then find resistance, pushing the palm behind you. Pull the belly in. You might notice a deep sensation through this area. Maybe not, but maybe. Allow yourself to be uncomfortable. To create heat instead of from friction of movement, but by isometric, hugging muscle to bone. Resistance from all directions, creating stillness. Squeeze the glutes. Try to tear the mat apart with your legs. Firm the belly. Hands come down. Vinyasa option. Bring it out. Finding a deep back bend in your vinyasa, spreading the collarbones, rhomboids, pull the shoulder blades together and down, lift the chin. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. Inhale, left leg lifts. You can find a little stretch here, let it feel good. Bend the knee. We're gonna rock forward over our wrists, then look forward, pull through the heel, engage the glutes, hamstrings. Imagine you're trying to get your toe to touch your head. Just imagine. Good. Knee to nose round. Release, counter pose. Step it forward. Plant the back foot. Rise up. Rise up, but also sink down. Left hand to left hip. Rotate the palm back. And as you let the pelvis come forward, find resistance, pulling the arm back. Again, we're extending up through the spine first. Just find the heart space to lean back. Rib cage is opening in front of us, but the abdominals are cinching in. And this is where we allow the discomfort of the pose. You know, Shiva held the flame, he danced in the flame as Nataraja. He never said it was comfortable, but he could withstand it because he knew better. You know that you can hold this. Allow yourself to hold it. Firm the muscles that are supporting you. Whatever muscles feel weak, engage them more. Push down through the feet to rise up through the crown. The neck grow longer. Pull the ears back over the shoulders. Breathe in. Breathe out, plant the hands. Whew. You guys did it. Left foot back. Vinyasa option. Again, a deep back bend here. Can you push down into the hands and then drag them back so your pelvis even drags forward? Squeeze the buns. Tuck the toes. Roll the hips up and back, down dog. Walk the hands back towards the feet. And bend one knee, then the other. Grab your straps. Quads are open. Hammies are fired up. Arms are open. I've already told you what we're doing. It's time, friends. We're going to start with the left foot planted. So a strap around the right foot. If you need to move to a wall, move to a wall. It's a good thing. If I had a wall here instead of a hydrangea, I might even use it. Okay? So, spreading the toes, pushing down through the foot. Soft bend in the knee. Remember, Shiva had a bend in the knee. That wasn't to show his strength, it was to show his awareness of balance. If you watch surfers, they don't surf with locked out knees. Remember, his cosmic surfboard, that dwarf demon. You're standing on your dwarf demon. What is it? What is your daily struggle? The daily drama? Use it to lift you higher, to elevate you. Begin pulling on the strap so the heel comes towards the glute. And then pull the belly in. Grow taller through the crown. We're not in a back bend yet. Right now we're in a quadricep stretch. We're in a balance pose. You have the option to stay here. You can reach back with that right hand and then reach the arm up, and you can tip. This isn't the pose that we're going for today, but this is a variation. Okay? So this is a variation. Soft bend in the knee. Or you can continue with me. If I can find somewhere on the stone to balance. So, again, right now we've just got that heel hugging in. We feel our hamstring working. Belly engaged. Squeeze the glutes, feel them work. We pull on the strap. And then we begin to find those prayer hands holding the strap. Elbows hugging in, squeezing at the ears. We keep lifting up through the heart, pushing up through the heel, pulling on the strap. Eventually, perhaps, you come close to, where's my toes at? If you can come close to getting your toes, come close to getting your toes. If not, just let them wave. But keep the elbows hugging in. Keep the lift up high through the leg, high through the heart. Good. Hold it as long as you can, as long as you'd like to. Then shake it up. And we're going to go towards the other side. Sometimes it's honestly easier for me without the strap, but that doesn't serve me well if I'm just going ham for no reason, guys. So now switching sides, rooting down through the right foot this time. Strap is just over the shoulder. You can use your muscles to squeeze the heel in, or you can kind of begin pulling on the strap. Neutralize the spine, so it's a natural curve. We're not super lordotic, we're not scooping under, we're natural. Lifting up through the heart, lengthen. Again, you're pushing into the top of your head. And then that's where we find our prayer hands with the strap, our push through the foot, and then we just keep walking it up, lifting through the heart, lifting through the leg. Going easy on yourself today if you need to go easy on yourself. Same option here as well, to reach back with the left hand, reach the right arm up, and then lean forward and find that variation. Just keep the belly pulled in. Protecting the spine. Strong glutes, strong core protects the low back. And when you're ready, go ahead and come out of it. Roll through the ankles, come up and down on the feet. Lifting through the toes, rocking through the heels. And then come down towards your malasana. So heels in, toes out, sink the hips down. Elbows into knees, knees to elbows. Find some length at the spine. If you need a block to sit on, find a block to sit on. What we want here is to find a lot of length in the low back. So it's a lot of counter pressure and tension from elbows to knees to find that lift, that lengthening. What this pose does, what this lesson does, is it teaches us to say no to the temporary. Because we know that nothing lasts for forever, but say no to temporary fixes. You know, just dropping one drop of water on that flame around Shiva wouldn't put out the fire. Instead, he learned to dance within it. He learned to cope alongside his struggles so that they didn't affect him. Try to think about some way in your life that you can do that. Option here, again, to invert or to find an arm balance if you'd like to do your crow pose, crane pose. The body is definitely ready for that. So plant the hands down, lift the hips up, and then you're going to clamp on, squeezing the outer edges of the triceps. You're going to lean forward, find chaturanga arms, lift one foot, and maybe this is your dance, your bakasana, your kakasana dance. Maybe you can rock forward, chaturanga arms, lift both around the spine, pull the heels towards the glutes. Those muscles are activated by now, so you can do it. From there, if you like to transition towards tripod, that's an option. Pinchamayurasana in your practice, your shoulder girdle should be pretty warmed up. Maybe go towards a wall. And heck, let there be a back bend. Just keep pushing into the floor, extending through the upper spine. Let the roundness, let the back bend come from the lumbar. If none of that is your jam, what I want you to do is I want you to find a puppy pose. So, hips over knees, bow the chest up. Either forehead down or forehead forward. Let this be the time in your practice where you don't care what anyone else is doing. We're all only caring about ourselves right now, about our own practices. Let this be time dedicated just to you. Not to that little dwarf demon that you've been standing on. The dramas of your life, caring what other people say, what they think of you. By being judged, by doing things wrong or feeling inadequate. Come forward now if you were in your puppy pose and lift the heart. Finding our cobra pose. Feeling truly empowered here. feeling truly able, because you are. The quadriceps are open, so if you'd like, you can, my dirty cat feet, you can bend through the knees. Perhaps you can use blocks if you'd like, or you can walk the fingertips back towards the pelvis. You can begin to reach again up through the crown and drop through the head. Noticing maybe if there's some contact. Maybe they just wave at each other. But allowing that posture to represent openness, freedom, and confidence. Coming through table, neutralizing the spine, shifting the hips side to side, rolling all around. Big circles if you need it. I mentioned in my Instagram post earlier that sometimes I just like to get into a tiny ball. So much of our practice is about expanding, stretching, finding strength. But sometimes allowing yourself to just be this tiny, round form can be so grounding. You can imagine yourself like a seed. And you can pick whatever kind of seed you'd like it to be. Maybe a sunflower. For me, it's definitely a sunflower. And I would love to take all of the positive feelings I'm having right now, the sweat from my practice, the value, the air, and I want all of it to nourish, to feed my seed that I'm in, so that I can continue to bloom, to grow, and hopefully be better every day. And I hope that for you too, because that's the point. It's the yoga. And that's what Shiva tried to teach us. Through asana, pranayama, meditation, by observing the vayus, the namas, the niyamas, all of these things, we can find true ananda, true bliss. So from here, I'd like you to take any closing stretches or postures that would be helpful for your practice. And then I'd like you to find a resting pose for your Shavasana. We don't have a huge amount of time for me to lead you in and out of Shavasana, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to lead you into Shavasana, and I'm going to play some sounds for you. And then I'm going to end the call, end the class at the end of time, because there are classes after mine. So allow yourself to rest with the meeting ended, with no need to say namaste or thank you, knowing that we can send our vibes, we can send our energy without our words. And I'm already sending my gratitude to you as you do your closing postures and setup. I'm so grateful for you, for all of you who came to class. It feels like a gift every day that I get to teach and to practice and to be a student. You know, we're all in this together. So by now, I hope that you are set up and that you're ready for your Shavasana. Let the body be comfortable. Let the eyes be closed. Notice where there's softness, heaviness, warmth, and coolness. And then allow all of those things to begin to come together. Imagining that now everything is just one big blur of sensation.